continuing to weigh that and see if that is something that we can report to you at this hour. In the meantime, Scott Taylor joins me, a former Navy SEAL who was with me on the phone. Scott, welcome. Good to have you here today.
Great to be here with you, but of course under bad circumstances.
Terrible circumstances, Scott. Tell me what your reaction was when you heard this news this morning and what your thoughts are as you watch this play out.
Well, it's just obviously tragic. Anytime you have shootings like this, certainly senseless. I'm trying to figure out, wonder what the motive is. And then, of course, I was following actually via Twitter. That's the sort of the quickest up to date, and you're seeing the Navy do what they do best, and that's follow procedures, get into the lockdown, go into active shooter mode, and make sure that everybody's accounted for and that folks are safe.
How familiar with this particular facility are you, and what are your thoughts on how easy or difficult it would be for somebody to get on this base if they were not a member?
Well, it's just like any other base. It's pretty difficult to get on the base without the proper identification, which is also very concerning. The fact that it could be another inside job. This base, of course, is the house of the Chief of Naval Operations. I'm not sure what you have to cover, what you haven't. NAVSEA, it's a huge command as far as budget goes. 3,000 folks working there every day. It's certainly tragic, and like I said, it's probably one of the biggest concerning things is the fact that it's probably an inside job.
We wait and try to get some more information on that. As I said, there's one name being floated out there right now, but we really have to be cautious in these situations because we're waiting to get more information. And last we heard, we believe that the body of that individual is still there on the base as they work through the evidence in this case. Any thoughts on this other idea that there may be two other shooters involved? The Washington, D.C. police are going on the eyewitnesses' accounts and they're pursuing any possible leads on two other people.
Well, we certainly have the finest folks up there trying to make sure that no one else is injured and that we bring these potential folks to justice. As the president said, I think he did a good job as far as not giving out information that's circumstantial and that we don't know yet. But I have the utmost confidence in our first responders and emergency response teams to bring these folks to justice. And like I said, it's difficult because it could potentially be an inside job. So if they're in military uniform, I know that the government has already worked hard to make sure that they have full accountability of everybody. And I just have confidence that we will find these folks and we will bring them to justice.
I'm curious what you thought when you watched the choppers hovering over that building and they were rescuing people, we believe, off the top of that roof, and then also using that open side of the chopper as a platform for two snipers, it appeared, that were trying to figure out if there was anyone else on the ground they had to be concerned about. How do you think they did today?
I think they did great. Like I said, I'm always proud of our men and women who are on the front lines at home and abroad and the emergency responders. It's a testament to their strength and professionalism and willingness to get in there and make sure that no matter what the costs are, that we rescue folks, make sure that they're safe, and then again bring these folks that perpetrated this horrible act to justice.
Obviously, your mind goes to Fort Hood and some other instances that we've seen that have been tragic on our military bases across the country. It has to add to concerns, really, for people working in these places where we all want them to feel safe and be safe because their job is to protect the rest of us, and they find themselves occasionally in these things very vulnerable.
Agreed, and I don't know if that means in implementation of more prevention programs to make sure that something like this never ever happens within the military itself and civilian force, of course, that work on these bases. But it's very concerning, and it's obviously not the first time that it's happened. And I imagine that the military will take the appropriate steps to install potential programs for prevention.
Well, remarkable scale that we witnessed on the part of those chopper pilots this morning, and the people that were helping in this attack that is a tragedy today in Washington. Scott, thank you very much for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thoughts and prayers out to the family.
Absolutely. We couldn't agree more. All right, so we've got